Tonight, St. Lucian-born rapper KO, now based in Canada, makes an urgent appeal for medical assistance for his father while lamenting the state of healthcare in St. Lucia. Activity in the Atlantic heightens as the hurricane season reaches its peak, and two sitting MPs say they are pumped and ready to go for the next election as they plan to contest and win their seats again. The details of these stories and more are coming up.
This is the Hot 7 Nightly News with Lovelace and Amy Joseph.
Good night. It is Wednesday, the 18th of September 2019. Welcome to the Hot 7 TV Nightly News. We're on Flow, channel 117, also being simulcast on KISS FM. You can also watch on our website. It's www.caribbeanhottv.com or on our free Caribbean Hot FM mobile app. I'm lovely Saint Amy Joseph. Thank you for joining us. Popular musician KO is making a heartfelt appeal to St. Lucians, asking them to donate blood to his cancer-stricken father. The artist expresses concerns over the operations of the island's healthcare facilities, saying the treatment which his father has received thus far has left him feeling helpless. Rochelle Gonzalez begins our reporting.
Son of the soul musician KO is making a life or death appeal for blood on behalf of his father, who is battling prostate cancer. The Endless Summer artist, who is based in Canada, has indeed been facing an endless summer, but for all the wrong reasons, as he is on island facing a fight to help his ailing father. The artist, whose real name is Philbert Sultan, sent out a call for help on a Facebook post where he wrote in part, quote, "We need at least 100 people to donate to get the required amount of blood he requires," end quote. Sultan reached out to Hot 7 News and revealed that this is his father's second round with the disease and that this time it came back with a vengeance. He also revealed that his father's case is particularly complex as he has one of the rarest blood types.
My name is KO. In 2017, my dad was diagnosed with prostate cancer. We were able to fight it then through different operations in Margarita, and we were able to save his life, and the cancer was in remission. However, that cancer is now back more aggressively than ever. It has infiltrated his bone marrow, which is causing high levels of calcium in his blood and low levels of platelets. He is currently in dire need of blood donations for a blood transfusion as well as a blood platelet transfusion. His blood type is O negative, which is one of the rarest blood types because it is the universal blood type. But all donations are encouraged since any type of blood can be used to process the platelets as well.
In his Facebook post, the singer also highlighted a major problem which also affects the average St. Lucian on a daily basis, the flawed healthcare system. He wrote, quote, "It feels like the hospitals are playing hot potato with the liability with my father's life, and it makes me sick. I feel helpless right now," end quote. He explained that St. Lucians are being failed by the system.
The healthcare system here is failing us. We have been back and forth with the two hospitals, Tapio and Victoria Hospital, all weekend. We came here on Friday for a blood platelet transfusion. They did not have any platelets. They told us that there was not an oncologist on call to receive or monitor my father, so he had to be transferred to Victoria Hospital. They ensured us that the transition from Tapio to VH would be a seamless process and that he would be taken care of considering the direness of his condition, if you will. When we got there, I spent about 12 hours in the emergency room with my father, trying to get nurses to attend to us, trying to get him to a bed. Our system here is broken on every single level, and it makes me sick.
The artist reiterated the desperate need for blood and asked persons coming in to donate to his father to specify that they are donating to Gilbert Sultan. He said any help received will be immensely appreciated. Reporting for Hot 7 News, I'm Rochelle Gonzalez.
The year's second major Atlantic hurricane is growing bigger and stronger as it aims to deliver strong winds and large swells to Bermuda during a rare pass Wednesday night just north of the Atlantic Island territory. Humberto, a sprawling Category 3 storm, is packing sustained winds of 120 miles per hour as it pushes east-northeast about 195 miles west of Bermuda. It is due to pass less than 100 miles of the island. Hurricane conditions are expected to reach Bermuda this evening, that's Wednesday evening, and continue into early Thursday morning. 2 to 4 inches of rain, dangerous waves along south-facing beaches, and a storm surge of 1 to 3 feet are also expected. Humberto is one of 3 storms drawing attention in the Atlantic basin. Imelda, a tropical depression, has rescue teams on alert as it threatens to dump the most rain since Hurricane Harvey on eastern Texas. The tropical storm Jerry is far east of the Leeward Islands and could strengthen into a hurricane by week's end. Bermuda has issued a hurricane warning. With just under 2.5 months left to go for this year's hurricane season, the island's infrastructure minister, Stephenson King, says there is a need for better structural integrity of many of the island's schools. Following the passage of Hurricane Dorian in the Bahamas, King says the island is clearly not prepared for this level of carnage. Rochelle Gonzalez reports.
Infrastructure Minister Stephenson King has expressed concerns about the integrity of schools across the island, namely those earmarked as emergency shelters. The minister based his statement on the carnage caused by Hurricane Dorian when the weather system made landfall in the Bahamas on the 1st of September this year. Although the care of schools fall under the jurisdiction of the Ministry of Education, the Department of Infrastructure oversees the certification of the integrity of the school's infrastructure. King said the current state of affairs indicates a clear state of unpreparedness.
Now that we have seen what has transpired in the Bahamas, and considering the intensity of hurricanes now, which of course seem to be raking up to 185, 200 miles per hour, and the movement of hurricanes, it means that we now got to prepare for what seemed to be an even more intense weather system that is likely to hit us at any time. Weather systems that are packing winds of 200 miles an hour, but yet still, in terms of mobility, probably 5 miles an hour, and that is dangerous. And so we now need to look at the new building codes in terms of which schools. Not any school can be a hurricane shelter. Not any building can be a hurricane shelter. So now in the planning of our infrastructure, and I speak of buildings, we now need to develop building codes and identify specific buildings in strategic locations that can be declared as hurricane shelters.
King said it is not just building integrity in need of reviewing. He said there is also a need to train sufficient personnel to build sounder structures, as well as to help rebuild in the unfortunate event that the island receives a direct hit from a hurricane.
Recently, the ILO met with us, and one of the topics that we discussed is the question of resilience in as far as our workforce is concerned. So we now need to begin not only to speak of buildings as hurricane shelters and building resiliently, but we now need to be able to prepare a workforce, a labor force, that is resilient and ready to move at any given time. So we're speaking now of training our people, not just as contractors and construction workers, but skilled workers who can be part of a cadre of individuals, of workers, who can respond immediately, if called upon, to participate in the workforce in a country that is devastated by hurricane.
The certification for sound school integrity is awarded on an annual basis following the assessment of the buildings. Reporting for Hot 7 News, I'm Rochelle Gonzalez.
We hit the streets to get your thoughts on the number of people showing heightened interest in contesting the next general election. Candidate selection in both camps is said to be difficult only because so many people want to be candidates.
Next up, we took to the streets of Castries to find out what you had to say on the issue.
Basically, I think that we reach in a state where persons have realized that the ruling party is not governing the country properly, and the young people now also want to have a say in what's happening in the country. So you find in most of the constituencies, okay, you find a lot of young people giving up themselves right now, or to do public work, or to come forward also to present themselves to run for a seat for a political party, especially the Senatorial Labour Party, because they see that they can make a difference. They want to make a difference in what happened in the country, so they're giving themselves up, especially young persons. If you look at right now, it's mostly young people that want to go up for elections right now. A lot of young people, Grozili, Central Castries, and Slurry, and even Soufrière. I think they have some young people want to go up for Soufrière also. We have about 4 of them in Soufrière also. Oh shit. You know, so I think that's basically what I have to say on this one, and we'll see how things go on for this. But it's a good thing. It's a good thing because persons always tell you they don't like politicians. And I'm happy to see that a lot of young persons presenting themselves into the political arena.
Maybe that's the place they see they have the most opportunity to make the money. Especially a lot of little churches coming and they're making money. Maybe especially people telling you they bubble this and you cannot trust them. And I could see right now you cannot trust them neither. Everybody rushing for a seat, but nobody rushing for anything else. It's just for the seat because they know that's where they make the cash. That's where they make the money. That's why they're running up there. Because you know there is bubble, there is things you could do, there is things you could sell, there is different things you could do. That's why everybody rushing there. Why they open a little trade like me, a little business like me? Why they go to see? Why they try to do something else? Why they want to rush to? Because you know anytime you're there in politics, when you start, you're saying something. When you're inside of there, just like them Jack Mel, Roseau, them people crying now for vehicle. The road is not good. And it's not that they say at first, right now, you know the road is not good and all the minibus fellas striking Bel Air, Vanna, all those places. So that's what they're saying. They're just a bunch of liars and I trust them. And if I have to vote you in, I don't have to give you an X. Because when I vote you for X, X means you're doing something that's not good. I have to give you a right. And it's time for them to change the way of voting. Because I give them a man an X, I give them an X that it could fail us.
L'argent et puis power, c'est ça moi qui en politique, c'est tout seul.
Au cas de ces jeunes gens qui plantent.
Ma blé madame, monsieur c'est quoi mon parce que ces jeunes n'ont pas payer plus vite.
Money. Yeah, because it's money that fighting there. That's why they want to take place in that thing. Money. If it wasn't money, they will never try to politics. So it's money that there.
The way I see it, the UWP is in power now. So quite a few people will show their interest. But for the Labour Party, I feel to myself that more people would prefer that the Labour Party get in power, and the Labour Party is a better party than the UWP. That's why there are so many candidates. And they are good candidates. I don't know much for the other side, but on the Labour side, they are very good candidates. So the thing is just hot, my brother.
Politics, when you're in politics, you already have the people under your control, because that is where all the power is. So with the power, you can do whatever you think like doing, even though you give the people a story and the people swallow it and accept it. But that doesn't mean it's a reality to even you that give it to the people, because politics was based on lies, illusions, crime. That's what politics is based on, you know, because the majority of politicians, a lot of the politicians are criminals, which we know of. They own everything in society. The majority of merchants are criminals because they overcharge the poor people that have nothing and they get rich off the poor people. So politics is a way of shaping yourself the way you want to. That is politics.
What's in the political arena is power. And what comes with power is money. So what is attracting all these people to come into politics eventually is to get rich.
And that's what you had to say. I am Jacka Wooding for Hot 7 News. Now back to you, lovely.
This is the Hot 7 TV Nightly News. Still to come, law enforcement reaches out to the public for feedback in an upcoming City Hall discussion. The PRO of the Grosley Minibus Association rails against laws restricting route variation along the John Compton Highway. And 2 MPs of the ruling UWP say they are in it to win it. That and more when we return.